family, and this video I'm going to be doing a shoulder workout exclusively. So stay tuned and I'll take you through my entire workout. The one that's missing from the video is the continued upright rows or drops. Always warm up, guys. I use a bar here just to help facilitate a stretch of my lats and my sides. Do some side bends, some shoulder work, and then actually I also do some work upstairs to boost up the shoulders with some small drills. Super important to warm up all these muscles. Alright, what's going on, YouTube family? I hope you guys are good. I'm back in town. I was in Philly visiting family this past weekend, so I flew home. That's part of the reason I was so underfed. I really wanted to hit legs today. I really was planning on it. The problem was I was so underfed, a little underslept, so I just decided against it. I really want to make sure when I hit legs that I really am able to annihilate them, and I have everything to give to that. Shoulders, they're a much smaller muscle group, as you know, so something I was like, I got to lift today. I haven't done shoulders in a dedicated shoulders day in probably over a week and a half, so I decided to hit that up. And I was actually going to hit some arms, but I didn't. I ended up just focusing ideally just on the shoulders, which was a great workout. Drove a lot of blood into the shoulders, and it was a good, just a high volume workout. Not crazy high, but a good amount of weight, or reps, I should say. As you can see, this is like an alternating military press. I think there's a specific name for this, but I totally am forgetting. You want to make sure that when you're training shoulders that you try a variety of different exercises that go with natural movement, natural motion. This is not the most ideal, and one of the worst things about this one that I'm doing, it's for aesthetics. It is a good one for aesthetics, but it's not necessarily, that doesn't make a exercise in any given exercise necessarily good for your body. I'm not going to get too much into that, but the shoulder joint is made up of your like glenoid fossa, the top of your humerus, which is like the big upper arm bone. That head of the humerus sits in the glenoid fossa, and then it's also cradled by the AC joint. There's like an acromion process that articulates with the clavicle that makes the acromioclavicular joint. And then you have all of those ligaments and muscles, and the muscle groups is all of those rotator cuff muscles, which the acronym would be SITS, letter SITS. So there's 4 rotator cuff muscles, and they're all relatively small and relatively easy to injure. It's just not something you want to mess with, especially if you're like a younger guy in your high school, you're lifting. You do not want to mess with that because it's going to limit you with your potential if you get injured now. So too many of my friends had torn labrums even right out of high school, stuff like that. It's very real, very realistic. It happens. So with this one, I always go down as far as I can. I don't usually go until the bar hits the top of my chest. Some people do that. I don't know if I'm unable to or if I just don't feel comfortable with that kind of range of motion. That is a little over the top. Some people, especially the heavier you go, you don't want to have over a 90-degree bend in your elbow. So I would stop a lot sooner if this was like twice the weight. The most weight I did with this barbell overhead shoulder press was actually only worked up to 95 pounds because, like I just said, I just want to keep my shoulders warmed up back into it, work my way back up to like 135 and go from there. But with these guys, just know your own strength. With these front raises, turn your wrist down at the top of the repetition, and it really does help to build the front delt. There are some even better ones that you can do, some tweaks like underhand reps. You'll see me do a couple of those, but they really help to build and develop the shoulders. And the entire past, like this past just about an entire year, I've been really focusing on healing my spine, and I'm in a place now where it's still really damaged, but I am healed up quite a bit. So I've increased the weight personally today on these front raises. I used to be doing these strict form with like 35s in college, and I want to get back up in weight. It's probably not even necessary if you just hold this weight at the top of the rep, like right there, and just hold it for a longer period of time. Probably safer, more recommended. But anyway, yeah, what I was saying with the heavyweight is you got to just work your way up. You know, guys that are really strong don't just start out like that. Some guys are naturally really strong, some girls are really strong, but you got to work your way up to doing more weight. Um, I'm not super strong. I don't have crazy numbers or anything. I really focus on aesthetics and symmetry and physique aspects and overall functionality as well. And I'm not like a CrossFit obsessed person. I'm saying like I want to be functional. If I want to go run down somebody who um, pickpocketed my girl or something, I'm gonna chase them down and be able to pummel them because I'm physically fit and I'm active. I don't just look big. I actually can function at a high capacity. So that's my main focus, is to keep everything very well balanced and symmetrical. And aesthetics is a natural byproduct of that kind of training, guys. It just is. I supersetted the front raises with side lateral raises. With these, a couple hacks I've learned has been to actually keep the wrist pointing down a tiny bit towards the top of the repetition. And that kind of helps to recruit more muscle fibers. I don't bring them down in front of me. I bring them right down to my sides, and that keeps your shoulders working throughout the entire range of motion. So you're not taking a break when your hands go in front of you. With lateral raises, I do the same thing as front raises. I'll do 3 to 4 sets. The first set is 12 reps. Second set is 10 reps. The third and fourth set will be 8 reps. And I almost always end up doing more than that. I'll do like multiple sets of around 10 reps. That's the average rep range that I almost always do. This is also an awesome finisher, guys, for if you're trying to break plateaus in your anterior delt strength. This is killer. It's also a great physique builder tool as well. Don't use a 45 if you have to rock. Only use a weight that you can use without rocking back and forth to swing the weight. So you can see I went back to the dumbbells here. I gave you guys a good angle here so that you can see the striations working. It's showing the muscle is being activated. This really is a proven exercise. It works good. I enjoy it. I was told by multiple people it's good. So it will cut your shoulder up like a chisel. So just do it and enjoy it, and you will see results. I can guarantee you that. Some vascularity in my shoulder there. Also, what I'm focusing on is building out that cut in the back of the shoulder from like the back view. I have some, but I'm trying to build it up to where it's just absolutely like caps. The next exercise I get into is called Arnold presses, and yes, they're named after Arnold himself. These are awesome shoulder exercise to do as more of like towards the end. I'm using lighter weight, you can see, and I'm really just getting all that shoulder activated with this motion. So it's similar, very, very similar to just a dumbbell shoulder press, but you're bringing them down and in front of you. So it kind of just is a great way to finish off all of those like lateral raises and front raises. Really just kind of burns them out. Don't use too much weight. I always use like 35s is around the range I'll do. You want to use weight that allows you to get 12 reps for the first set, and then the next 2 sets only go to 10 reps. So that's a higher rep range, especially that you've already done your working sets with the barbell overhead military style pressing. You don't need to use heavy weights for this. This is more just for a aesthetic builder. And it does help your strength somewhat, but it also is to help your stabilizers. One of the things you want to include in your warm-up, but also as a finisher, is to include rear delts. They're so neglected, and they're so neglected on me. You can see I'm actually using 7.5-pound dumbbells, but I am lying on a bench, so I'm really strict form here. This is the hardest way to hit rear delts, is to just be lying face down on a bench. One thing that I was told, I trained an entire training session with my chiropractor who went through it with me, and he told me to bring my elbows up and forward a little bit when I do rear delt flies. So something I'm trying to do here. You can see my arms almost go out in front of me a tiny bit, and the reason is because you want to focus on not where your hands are so much. This is a quick shoulder routine that you can wrap up in like about an hour, so give it a try, guys. You'll really enjoy it. You can write down the amount of reps and sets if you want. Remember, always start with high reps, around 15 reps, then drop to about 12 reps, then about 10 reps, then about 8, and then 6 if you do that many sets. That's kind of the pattern I stick to. If I am going to be increasing the weight in my exercises as I'm going to go into this bulk here. But as of right now, I'm getting back into it, and that's a key, guys, is the foundational strength. You have to make sure you get back into things, not just jumping head first, but you have to take your time, be humble, eat humble pie, shoulder press with 95 pounds, And frankly, this really felt pretty heavy to me today. I'll be straight up honest. So that's really going to conclude this clip, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Go to frederickfit.com if you want to hire me as your online trainer. I also do online coaching and I have training programs. There's workout programs, VIP packages, and I guarantee results or your money back. No questions asked. So email me. And yeah, guys, subscribe and please stay safe.